Gary just put a triumphant end to forced labor within his company's supply chain. Now, his only kryptonite is the office candy bowl. Save your company's operations and reputation with Exiger.
And I want to bring into the conversation for a moment Kit Conklin, who's Senior Vice President of Risk and Compliance at the firm Exiger, who we had asked to come on tonight to talk about what we thought was going to be a minerals deal, which we thought maybe this might be a big deal. Not that we know that we wouldn't get a deal. We'd have the President of Ukraine kicked out of the White House. Who knows what's next? By the way, let me actually start with that, though. And would that have been a big deal? What did you think of what was being proposed?
Thanks, Connell. Well, first off, yes, it would have been a big deal. At the end of the day, I guess the flavor of terminology that the president's used today is cards. That President Zelensky doesn't have the cards. Well, in reality, the United States, when it comes to critical minerals, we don't have the cards. We rely on China for over 90% of our critical mineral imports into the United States. So a deal, if it would have materialized, would have been very significant and very strategic for the United States.
The China angle on this is interesting to me. I mean, we had a conversation earlier, and I should point out in the previous life you had served as a senior advisor to the U.S. House Select Committee on China, right? So I know you've done a lot of work on this as well. Congressman Seth Moulton, who's a Democrat from Massachusetts, was on, and I played the clip earlier when I was speaking to Geraldo about this, and he said Xi Jinping's the real winner here because we've been saying, maybe Putin's the real winner, but he thought even more so China.
That's certainly a possibility. At the end of the day, the United States has to address immediately the risk that our supply chain dependency is so reliant on China. For example, at Exiger, we map global supply chains. We've looked at billions and billions of data points over the last several weeks to identify those critical mineral shipments coming into the United States from China that this type of deal with Ukraine could have helped to minimize. And we've identified 20,000 shipments in the last year of critical minerals coming into the United States directly from PRC suppliers. And the reason why, Conlin, this is so important is because China is weaponizing the periodic table. They are announcing new export control restrictions on PRC minerals flowing into the United States. This is a new territory for the United States. So it really does buy Xi Jinping more time.
What if it gives him more confidence, though? I know this is speculative, but this is what Moulton brought up, and I think it is a legitimate question to ask, to be more aggressive vis-a-vis Taiwan, to go into Taiwan. Because will he look at this and say, maybe the U.S. wouldn't stand up for Taiwan?
It's certainly something that needs to be considered, right? And Congressman Moulton was a member of the Bipartisan Select Committee on China. He's a true expert on these issues. There needs to be a shift of deterrence towards the Indo-Pacific, and that's what you're seeing a little bit from the White House already. There's a desire to take resources from European Command, for example, and place those at Indo-PACOM to help create a stronger deterrence towards China. But ultimately, we're still reliant on a lot of PRC imports for rare earth minerals and critical minerals.
All right, and there's no rare earth mineral deal or any kind of mineral deal to talk about today with Ukraine. Thank you, Kit.
Not yet.